Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And we are here to give you some interesting tidbits in world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so podcast. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode. It is post 4th of July. We had a little extended break. Mikey, how was your 4th of July weekend and your birthday weekend too? Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was really good. So we had the 4th of July, obviously, lots of hot dogs and hamburgers. No sausage though, as my dad says.
Oh, he stayed true.
I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger. No sausages. No sausages. No sausages. Sausages.
There you go, sausages.
Yep. So we didn't have any of those, but on my actual birthday, we went to Shady Maple Amish Smorgasbord.
Now, Superfan Chapek gave us a tip to see if you could do 3 meals. Could you do it?
He did. I unfortunately could not because we had other plans that day. And not only that, but I was wildly unprepared for the Amish Smorgasbord in general.
Yes, it's pretty overwhelming.
I was like, oh, we'll get there around 9. No biggie. We'll go in, we'll have some food, and we'll leave. No, the line was out the door.
Yes.
I'm used to King's Buffet back in the day.
Shady Maple is like world renowned.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I was unaware.
Yep.
So we roll up, and we drive by this building, and I go, oh, no, that is a line out the door.
Yep.
So we were in line for about 30 minutes, which, given everything that I've learned...
That's actually a pretty good clip.
That's pretty good. It was like 30 to 40 minutes, I think we were in line. But by that point, it's 10 o'clock. Breakfast closes at 11. So we didn't have that much time to get the lay of the land, get our food, eat, go back, get seconds. By the time we were going back and getting seconds, they were already starting to...
You specifically wanted breakfast.
I specifically wanted breakfast, yeah. So they were already starting to do like cheesesteak stuff next to the omelets. I'm like, all right, I guess that's our cue. They stopped putting out like the breakfast food, you know.
But you could stay for lunch.
I could have stayed for lunch, but we had other plans to get to. But I think next year, I'm going to try maybe doing that like at least 2 meals. I don't know about 3. I don't know if I could do 3, but maybe like 2 meals. I realize now that when you go to Shady Maple, it's kind of an all-day thing.
Yes.
Like it takes about an hour to get out there. Like you got to have like at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually do the waiting in line, the eating, everything, right? And then like
it's world renowned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the area goes there.
But then also beneath the buffet, they have the store.
Yep, the gift shop.
Which was weird, okay? Because it wasn't just like, oh, Shady Maple themed stuff. It was like this massive, like, I don't know, it was like a fever dream. Like, there was so much Christmas stuff, but then also, like, handmade quilts. And then, like, there was, like, weird, like, Jeep paraphernalia. And then you go to another corner, there's, like, kids' toys. And then there's, like, some Amish preserves in the one. There was, like, this weird...
Mishmash, yeah.
Just mishmash. And it was all, and I don't know why I didn't realize because it's all Amish, but it was all that had this religious overtone. I walked out, I was like, why are there crosses everywhere?
Yeah.
And it didn't dawn on me. So yeah, wildly underprepared. Like nowhere near prepared enough for this.
Praise the glorious leader.
There you go.
I did.
You were about to chant the holy ritual.
It's true.
Praise the glorious leader.
I fell to my knees and I was so thankful that day. So yeah, we did Shady Maple.
Praise the glorious leader.
we did our praising. We had our breakfast, and then we came back, and I decided, I don't know why, I was like, let's go to the zoo. So
what?
So I just love animals.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, like the day before, I was just like the zoo popped into my head. I'm like, man, I haven't been to the zoo.
What zoo?
The Philadelphia Zoo.
Wait, in one day you went from Shady Maple to the Philadelphia Zoo?
That's why we couldn't stay that long.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know. When I said it, I was like, wait a second. These things are in opposite like directions of each other.
How long of a drive was that?
Well, it was long.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan did it because she's my wonderful fiance.
Oh
so
my
I was
God.
just passenger princess the whole time. But yeah, we
Wow.
did Shady Maple, then we did the zoo, and of course that was like 98 degrees out.
What? Yeah.
It was miserable. It was. I mean, no, it was a lot of
Mike.
fun. No,
You did this wrong. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What
They-
are you?
they were
like
like-
light speed. What the?
They were like,
hell?
look, they're like, you can do whatever you want. It's your birthday, and I picked Shady Maple and the zoo.
the
okay.
Philadelphia
The
Zoo.
Philadelphia Zoo, yeah,
That had to have been at least an hour and a half drive.
yeah, I know.
You bastard.
I
Poor Jordan. I'm sorry. No, Jordan. You're in the wrong for that one.
oh,
That's
no,
a long
we,
drive.
We all had a fun time because me, Jordan, and my one cousin who was visiting from DC. We went to the zoo.
Yeah, but that's a long drive.
That is a long drive.
You-
I know. I feel
you-
bad.
You son of a bitch. Wow. You really took advantage of that whole we'll
No.
do anything you want to do.
No, because it was a discussion. It was a discussion. I was like, hey, like, I feel like I want to do this. And we talked about it. And she's like, yeah, it's no problem. Yeah.
All right, Mikey.
Yeah.
So, how was the zoo?
It was fun. Thank you very much. No, I fed a giraffe.
Oh, okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Nobody was feeding the giraffes. It's an experience you can do. I don't know why more people don't do it. It
Are
was
they afraid of giraffes?
maybe. I will say,
Do they spit on you? Is that it?
it did not spit on me. I don't know
But
if
I
they,
think they're known to spit on people.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Well-
but it's not like they're doing it on purpose. It's just
no.
like
right.
they're
Well,
chewing and
it,
like
it almost like
Hookta.
yeah it almost got my hand though.
Yeah.
Like these things, the tongue is really long, and they just, I know there's an innuendo in there somewhere,
yeah.
but it just like it just went for the whole branch I was holding. Like it didn't like go for the leaves, just the whole thing straight out of my hand.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Just a little bit.
I'm trying to talk about a wholesome experience with nature, and Rich has got to pervert it.
Whoops. Sorry.
Whoops. No, but I fed a giraffe.
That's good.
It was really cool. You don't realize how big these animals are until you're standing like 3 feet away from it. I was like, oh shit. Like the thing could have reached down and just bit my head off. Like thank God they're herbivores.
Yeah.
They're insanely big and they're super strong too. Like I'm holding this little branch. I look like it was like this ridiculous little twig with like a couple leaves on it. It almost yanked the whole thing out of my hand and I was like, they're like, hold on really
Yeah,
tight.
Hold on. Yeah.
Like if a kid did that, it would pull the kid into the enclosure.
All right. So what did you do at night then?
Played
New
board-
York.
Played board. Yeah, New York. Yeah. It didn't seem like that. It didn't seem like that bad when I was thinking of it, but apparently it was. We played board games at night, so
Oh, there you
everybody
go.
got
That's
to
better.
relax after a day of driving back and forth.
Very
It wasn't
good.
that bad.
Very
It wasn't that bad.
It's just that's really you're like that's like
Shady Maple
a
and the
whole
zoo. I know
part like
they're very far from each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
but doable within a day.
It is doable. Like I feel like we didn't push it that much. And other than the heat, the zoo was a lot of fun. And I found a zoo key that I had.
Oh yeah, the old zoo keys. Yeah,
They still work.
really.
Yeah, I didn't believe people. They're like, the zoo keys still work. I'm like, BS.
They still have like things to put the zoo keys in.
Yes. So the last time that I was at the zoo, like 10 years ago, they didn't have them. But apparently they brought them back, and they have new zoo keys. I'm like, I'm going to bring the old one to see if it works. It does. It still works. I was so amazed. I was carrying around this like 30-year-old zoo key, and it still worked.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, it was cool. No, the zoo's great. Go to the
All right.
go to the zoo. Go to Shady Maple. Do them both in one day. It's possible.
All right, so there you go. There's Mike's official report there. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. What did you do this weekend? That was not the zoo.
No, I was down Rehoboth
Okay,
with
nice.
Rachel's family and
Is that
everything.
the first beach trip of the year?
I guess so, technically. But I would just like to say this is one of those situations I need to call out on.
Oh no.
So right now we're in the middle of this massive heat wave here in
Yeah.
Philadelphia and the surrounding areas.
yeah.
I mean, it's been ugly out. It's like 98 degrees and 100% humidity. It is really bad.
It's the humidity is the worst.
It's matching the heat index levels in like Nevada right now.
It's really hot.
And I would like to say right now, to everybody that makes fun of me for not liking the heat, or anybody that disagrees with me that winter is better than summer, you are all wrong.
Damn.
Every single one of you.
Wow.
This weekend and week has been unbearable. I don't know how people enjoy this weather. It is. I can't believe people go outside in this weather. It is brutal out. You step outside and it's just like an oven of hot air hits you right in the face.
Yeah.
And like I'm perplexed. People go out, people run, people do activities in this weather. Like
It is
how?
it is not enjoyable to be out in weather like that. So like I went to the zoo, which is like mostly outside, right?
Yes.
And it was one of those hot days. And while we had fun, let's not mince words, nobody enjoyed being outside. Like we enjoyed seeing the animals, but we're like, where's the next where's the next indoor exhibit?
I'm glad you're with me on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are people out there that are actually willingly choosing to run in this heat, or
Are they?
exercise in this heat, or bicycle in this heat.
You know what the problem is? Think about the people you just listed. They run, they bike, they exercise. Rich, they're not us.
No, they're not.
They're more tolerant because they're not built for Arctic temperatures like we are.
They are all wrong. Every single one of you is wrong.
I think they're just more active.
No, I would like to. I'm usually a pretty fair-minded guy. I think.
Okay.
I usually keep an open mind.
You try to give everything a fair shot.
I try to give every either a shot or an attempt.
Yeah.
Try it once and then determine. On this issue, I'm sorry. Everybody is flat wrong if you disagree with me on this. I cannot stand this weather, and I know I'm somewhat right, because I've had people that do exercise and whatever. They've said like, "Oh, it is definitely not comfortable outside. Like this is definitely not ideal weather."
Yeah.
And it just bothers me. I can't believe people still I don't know, like just enjoy themselves. The heat index for tomorrow is something like 110 degrees. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
This is Satan's hiney hellhole as far as I'm concerned. And anybody that enjoys this needs to be mentally reevaluated and physically reevaluated. I don't know. But I'm sorry. I'm going to give it to you straight. You are all dead wrong.
Wow, so there you go. There you have it. You're wrong.
You're all wrong.
I will just say what I always say when it comes to
I love
temperatures.
you all, but you're all wrong.
Hey, families and friends, they disagree all the time, right? I'll say this about the subject. Whenever the topic of heat versus cold comes up, it's always a matter of when you're cold, you can put more layers on.
Yes.
Right? A blanket, a hoodie, whatever. After a certain point, taking off layers becomes a crime.
Right. I cannot.
So there's physically only so many articles of clothing you can take off.
I only have this Eagles shirt on. That's it. I literally only have this and shorts.
Right.
I can't get any more.
You can't go any further.
Right, or else I will make Mikey uncomfortable.
That's right. Yeah.
So yes, this is the bare minimum I can get away with.
We're just going to show up next week in socks.
Yes, because I'm too
like, Rich,
damn hot.
please put something on.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Take your damn clothes off!
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yes, the heat came over me and I took my clothes off.
That's what it does to some people.
But I'm not allowed to use that as an excuse.
Why do you think Florida acts the way they do? The heat scrambles their mind.
Yes, probably.
It's scientifically actually it is scientifically proven that when it gets too hot, crime increases. So heat does.
Did you say climate or crime?
Crime
Oh,
increases.
I thought you said climate.
No, I was stumbling over my words, but I eventually got there. Crime increases with heat.
There you go. Another reason to not like heat.
Also, all day, every day, the freaking echo. By the way, there's a heat warning. By the way, there's a heat advisory. I know. If I wake up and there's a heat advisory, why would it go away by noon? Amazon?
Anybody that says summer is better than winter, you're all dead wrong. I'm sorry.
Best season is fall.
Well, yes. Spring, yes. I hate this
Fall
argument
is the best.
too.
Well, no, what? What argument?
Yeah, because you get the ideal weather in fall. Like,
Fall is objectively the best season.
of course, but like that's not really saying anything because you
What
get
do you mean?
Because you get the ideal weather. You get the 60s, 70s. I think everybody can agree that that's like a good temperature.
Why would anybody pick summer though?
I'm trying to boil this down to either summer or winter, hot or cold. And
Okay.
I would rather cold 100 times out of 100. Ah!
He's so mad he threw his phone on the ground. Look what you made him do. Look what you made him do.
That was actually audio of me over the weekend too. Yeah.
That was just was him for 4 days straight apparently.
Yeah. Too damn hot.
Yeah.
I can't. I just don't even like enjoy like being outside at that point.
I don't mind the heat if I'm doing things that are appropriate for the heat. Like if I'm in a pool or like doing something indoors like a movie or like going to a restaurant or something. But if like your idea of hot weather activity is like to be in the heat, like I'm going to go hike or some crazy stuff like that. Like no, like it needs to be weather appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yes. So anyway, you love the heat. You're dead wrong. I'd rather have 29 degrees versus 99 degrees all day, every day.
Well, there you go.
I saw that post. It was like, would you rather have 29 degrees? Would you rather have a 29 degree day or a 99 degree day? If you choose 99 degrees, I'm sorry, you're dead wrong.
No, because you can easily survive 29 degree.
Yeah.
Weather.
A nice sweater, a nice
You
overcoat.
throw on a long pair of pants,
Not to
a nice coat.
Another thing too, fashion is much better in the winter.
Oh, hands down.
You look
Hands down.
Sorry, everybody looks much better in winter clothes than summer clothes.
100%.
Absolutely.
I have determined that I'm strictly a flannel and jeans guy.
Even Rachel says it. Rachel says your wardrobe in the winter is like 5 times better
yeah.
than it is in the summer.
Because, and I explained this to Jordan, men don't have that many options. We have we have cargo shorts.
That's like the default. You
or
have
like
to.
basketball shorts, which you're not allowed to wear anywhere for some reason,
Unless
except the
you're
comfort
gonna
of
play
your own
basketball.
home. Yeah. And then you have like various types of long pants or like uncomfortable like chino shorts or something.
Yeah. So,
khaki shorts. Like we don't have many options.
So yeah, you're all wrong. The answer is winter and the 29 degree day.
Flannels and jeans.
You're all dead wrong. I'm sorry. I think I might start a new segment just where I'm just like, everybody's dead wrong.
What is happening?
I've been asking myself that question a lot with some of the news headlines the last couple of weeks, so that's not a fair question to ask. You know what? With all those news popping up that I have seen, we need to delve into the news on here that we want to cover. So let's do the first batch of topics that revolve around sports in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports, 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 sports.
In your face! Ha ha!
It's just rage.
That was also audio of me during the weekend too.
You just went. You just walked outside onto the porch and just shouted at the sun.
Yeah, I can't, because I'm not gonna be a happy guy in the sun. I'm just not.
No.
It's just it doesn't jive with my. I don't know. I can't do it. I hate sweating. I hate being overheated. It's just not a good atmosphere for me. Anyway, let's get to sports.
Okay.
You're all wrong.
Jesus.
Final word. You're all wrong. Anyway, let's move.
I don't know who you are, but you're wrong. Apparently,
Anybody that loves summer, you're all dead wrong. All right, let's get into sports.
Yes.
And
to the actual scheduled topics.
yes. I guess this one's me. Yes, I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. If you couldn't tell by all my screaming and all my crazy promos that I've done over the past couple of years.
My God, what the hell's going on tonight?
Yep. There you go. Some little Ric Flair for you to get you in the mood. But rather significant news happening over the past premium live event is what they call it now. Did you know that too, by the way? They're starting to phase out the word pay-per-view.
Premium live event?
They're calling it premium live events now.
It does make it sound better than like some kind of weird hotel porno. Like,
yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, you're right on that one.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
whenever I hear pay-per-view, there's only 3 things that pop into mind. Weird, like, 1980s boxing, current-day wrestling, and hotel
Pornos.
sleazy pornos. Yeah.
That's a fair assessment.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Well, literally nothing else uses that terminology.
Oh, my balls!
There you go.
Well, that could be it. That could either be both wrestling or
That could be all of the
or
above.
porno. Yeah.
Oh, my balls!
Can't be boxing though. That's box. All hits supposed to be
is
above
that
the
a penalty?
belt. You get a disqualification.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the way to
hits
DQ.
all
Wow.
hits are supposed to be above the belt in boxing. But wrestling and porno, you're on track with that one.
Oh, my balls!
Anyway, so I don't even know where I was going.
Pull it back. Pull it back.
All right, so this past weekend at the premium live event known as Money in the Bank, it's a rather, I mean, it's not one of the four major events that WWE puts on, but it's like a mid-major, if you will. John Cena made a surprise entry. His music kicked on, and everybody got very excited. But unfortunately, the news may not be what John Cena fans wanted to hear, because Cena announced that he is going on a farewell tour from now until WrestleMania 2025, and that after WrestleMania 2025, he will retire from professional wrestling to focus more on his acting career, and he will officially be done in the WWE. And, you know, it is one of those things. A lot of people hated him when he was the WWE champion, and a lot of people thought he was like the bastion of the PG era. You know, he was the...
Is that why people disliked him? I knew that people disliked him, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, I mean, he was very much too much a gimmicky, goody two-shoes kind of character.
Okay.
I don't even think John Cena ever had a true heel turn.
I feel like wrestling fans only like heel wrestlers. Like, does anybody like the good guys? But you need the good guys for the heels to be effective. So
here's what I'm going to tell you. As a fan of wrestling, what seems to be the cycle is you need to have your shtick to go over with the audience. That's like your first task.
Yeah.
Your gimmick or your character or whatever it is first has to get over with the audience. They have to connect in some way, shape, or form. Now, that can be either cheering for you and it's good, or booing you intensely
right
as a villain. That could be either or, but you got to connect with the audience. That's like your first goal.
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen to a guy who debuts is the audience does nothing. That's the worst thing. That means there's
just
there's
no
chemistry.
selling point. There's no hook.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that can happen to a debut. Your first goal is to connect with the audience in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
On either extreme of the spectrum. Then Act 2 usually seems to be the heel turn.
Okay.
You usually kind of have to make your bones as a heel. That kind of sets you up, and then eventually for a character arc, you then flip the script and go good, and then fulfill a storyline or a championship run or something like that.
Have they ever done the inverse where a bad guy goes good?
Yeah. Like,
but you're playing with that formula,
right? That is the rough.
It's the flip. It's the flip flop.
Right. That is usually
the flip flop flip.
Yeah, that's like the rough kind of flow to how major characters develop.
Yeah.
And I think that was a problem with John Cena. He was just always kind of on the goods. He never really had a true heel run.
Okay.
I mean, there was, before he got the WWE Championship, there was a little bit where he was doing a rap persona, which was interesting. A white guy doing rap. That was interesting.
He doesn't seem like the rapping type. Just
they were trying to cash in on on Eminem and stuff like that. And during that part, he was a little bit villainous, but he never really had a true heel run. So really, John Cena was kind of goody two shoes from start to finish. And in that era where WWE was dialing things back, they were trying to be corporate. They were trying to make themselves look presentable for a stock.
People saw him as like the face of corporatized WWE.
Correct. And I think that's why he drew a lot of heat and a lot of people didn't like him. And I mean, it got so much so that there was even a storyline that like he was too corporate, and CM Punk had to come, and he had the Summer of Punk where he said, I'm not going to be a corporate guy. I'm the complete opposite of John Cena. And
But given that
that was a good story.
Given that wrestling is all scripted, could that have been John Cena's heel turn in a kind of meta way? Like everybody ended up hating him.
Yeah, but they didn't. But the problem is that wasn't the design of it.
But maybe it was like metafictional. Because you just said CM Punk did his whole thing, which was scripted, right?
Yeah, but his gimmick was he was doing the whole like I'm anti-corporate. I'm the true. He was like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, you needed John Cena to be corporate for CM Punk to be anti-corporate.
Yes, but he didn't. He wasn't.
I cracked the code.
He wasn't an outright heel. Let's put it this way: John Cena never did like a villainous act.
His villainous act was being a corporate stooge.
But that's not what I'm trying to get at here.
I know it's not what you're trying to get at.
Anyway, the whole point of this, stop trying to drag this out. The whole point of this is that John Cena, he's finally retiring. I think he's 47. He'll be 48 at WrestleMania. So, I mean, it does kind of match up because, yeah.
It's a good time for him to get out of the game.
With these guys, it's kind of like when you hit your mid-40s. The Rock came back at 50, but, I mean, he also wasn't regularly wrestling either, so he kind of had a fresh body, and the Rock never really had any lingering issues either with his body either, so that's why he's kind of like an exception to the rule.
The Rock got out early though,
right? He got out early,
yeah.
Came back, like he had some time to kind of like reset his body and his character and stuff like that. So I think for John Cena it makes sense. This is kind of his. Yeah, it is. Not kind of. It is his farewell tour that he's going to launch, and I think it's probably a good call for him. He's reaching kind of the end of his character, the end of his stint in terms of what he can do with his body as a wrestler as well.
Seems like he's had a good long run, and for as much as maybe some fans hated him, I mean, he was a very popular wrestler.
Yes, very popular, and also just actually on a personal note, like I still think he holds the record for most Make-A-Wish wishes made true.
So outside the entertainment sport, he is actually a good guy.
Right,
like.
he's very much like I guess another reason too is he really is like a good guy like outside of professional wrestling. It seems. To be that to get that moniker that he's fulfilled the most Make-A-Wish wishes.
And he's funny. I remember seeing him in a SNL that he hosted, and I'm like, wow, he's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just an idiot, but I was like, wow, he's pretty funny. Like I could see him doing a Rock kind of career trajectory.
Well, he's already has. He's
getting there.
He's done the Fast and Furious movies. He's done the DC. What was it? The DC spinoff.
Oh, that's right, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but there's a character he.
I can't remember. It's like, I know exactly what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
whatever.
It's kind of like character. The Boys Homelander, but not.
That character.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm really on top of my game today. So I mean, yeah, he is trying to follow the Rock kind of procedure into being an actor. So
I did like him in Suicide Squad. That was fun.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And whether you like him or not, yeah, he's had a very profound effect on the WWE and its history. Another thing too, he's going out as a pure WWE guy. He never jumped ship. He never went to a rival competitor. So I'm sure WWE will kind of immortalize him in tributes and Hall of Fame ceremonies and stuff like that going forward.
I was gonna say he definitely seems like a Hall of Fame type candidate.
Yep. The final question with John Cena that's going to be interesting is that in terms of what the WWE recognizes as world championship runs, he is right now tied with Ric Flair with 16 times as a world champion.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be interesting. People are like, are they going to give him the nudge to get number 17? And then he officially goes down in history as the person with the most world championship reigns.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
that could be something they bestow upon him in this farewell tour.
That'd be pretty cool.
So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But that would also mean that he would have to face off against whoever is the current champion. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Right now it's Cody Rhodes coming off of the win off of WrestleMania. But we'll see. But definitely a momentous headline in the world of professional wrestling, as one of the big stars will be retiring fully. And I think he's going to be serious about it.
You don't think he's going to waffle and come back?
Yeah,
and
I
do
think he's
bit work?
serious because he really loves acting. He really seems to be like that's like his next progression,
Yeah.
you know, into his career. So I really think that this is it for him. I don't think he's going to pull like a Ric Flair or, you know, he might maybe he'll do like one appearance or something like
yeah,
The Rock.
he might do like specials or something every once in
But
a while.
I think he's truly done. I don't think he can do a full
Performance,
full
kind of,
workload, if
yeah.
you will. So
I mean, the pipeline is there from wrestler to comedian or comedy actor. You know, The Rock made that a very viable possibility.
yep.
So,
Not just him, Batista too. There another one to look
that's
forward.
true.
Batista,
Dave
another
Bautista,
one.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
went
so-
into acting as well.
The blueprints are there. I think he has a shot at pulling it off.
Yeah.
So, best of luck to him.
Yep. All right. Now let's get to. Well, I think we color coordinated for the Eagles here.
We
We're
did
gonna
a little bit.
We're going to talk about the Eagles because Philly Voice every year has a wonderful article about why the Eagles could be a dumpster fire every season, and it came out this past week. So, Mikey, what are the reasons why the Eagles could be a dumpster fire this year?
Well, we can just go right down the list and just give a quick thought on each one.
Oh no! We suck again!
There you go.
Yeah,
If you
I
want to
mean,
feel bad.
we could if you believe this list. First up, it's the first item is it's going to be hard to rebound after the 2023 collapse.
That's true.
You know, the article makes the point that a lot of games, even that we won, you know, were easily weird circumstances. They could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And then you, of course, have the historic collapse where we lose, I think it was 5 of 6 at the end of the season,
Yeah, it was
something like
bad.
that. Yeah. So, I mean, how much stock do you give to this? Is that something that's going to be hard to overcome?
I do definitely weigh this in into the overall projection of the Eagles this year, because yeah, an ending like that stings, and it stays in the organization until something can really shuffle it off. So I think that's a fair concern.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles are, for better or for worse, somewhat of a moody team. Like, things like this affect them a little bit more than some other teams might. Just as long as I've been watching them, it seems like things like this really get into their psyche. Like, on the one hand, we can ride something like the underdog mentality all the way to a Super Bowl. And on the other hand, when things start to go south, we just completely unravel.
Yeah.
You know, so they seem to be very streaky with their moods and the psyche. So something like this certainly could impact them. I'm hoping that enough time will have passed. And there's a huge culture change with the new coordinators that hopefully it won't have as much impact
Yeah.
as it might like during the middle of the season.
The coordinators have to be a great shakeup in terms of getting that stink out of the locker room mentality.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that'll be the case, but none of that will matter if number 2 on this list doesn't play up to par. Number 2 is, who is Jalen Hurts? We have this quarterback who one year has an MVP season and the next year has a statistically fine season, but you start to see some of those problems that we worried about accentuated. So which one are we going to get? Are we going to get MVP Hurts, or are we going to get Hurts who doesn't know how to throw middle of the field medium routes?
Yeah, that'll definitely be a spot to observe. But, I mean, I really can't believe people are trying to bail on Jalen Hurts already. You know? Like, this guy had an MVP year, led us almost won the damn Super Bowl just 2 years ago. I just, you know, I think he's deserved a longer leash than what he's getting.
Yeah. I think that you have to look at the types of coordinators that he's had. His 2 best seasons came under Shane Steichen, who, was brilliant at drawing up the right plays at the right times. His 2 worst seasons were under Press Taylor, who was terrible in 2020, but that was a bad season regardless, and Brian Johnson.
And we can't stand him.
Right. And Brian Johnson just was not ready for the job. I'm sure that he'll go and eventually find a place in the NFL because a lot of people really liked him.
Anybody that loves screens.
Yeah. I'll never forget the one game we were watching together, and we're like, I think I just saw the 7th screen in a row.
I will be happy if I never see a never screen pass in my life.
It was absolutely wild.
Stop it with the damn screen plays.
But the point here is that Kellen Moore, the new OC, is somebody who was being looked at for head coaching opportunities.
Yeah.
He's going to bring, I think, more of the fire and creativity that we saw from like a Shane Steichen as compared to the blandness of a Brian Johnson.
Yeah, Kellen Moore, he's really got some motivation here because if he has a fantastic season as the offensive coordinator, I think it's all but certain he's going to become a head coach.
Yeah.
Like this is his year to really prove his mettle with what potentially could be an all-star quarterback. He really could show off his skills and prove why he should be a head coach. So he's got a lot to prove this upcoming season.
Yeah. I'm going to jump all the way to 10 because I think this is somewhat related. Nick Sirianni's seat is toasty because you mentioned that Kellen Moore has that head coaching potential and that he could prove himself. I think he's also the OC this year in case Nick Sirianni starts to falter because he is essentially, I think, kind of like an escape pod for the Eagles.
Yeah.
No, I mean, seriously, it's like, all right, Nick Sirianni, week 10, 11, 12, getting down to the stretch, not getting the job done. Maybe we're like middling. Maybe the Eagles decide, you know what? Let's make a change. Kellen Moore, your interim head coach. If he does close out the season well, he just becomes the head coach. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that think that is a distinct possibility. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's not a bad maneuver. And I hate to say this because, you usually like to think that offense and defense are kind of equal sides of the same coin. But the way the NFL is structured with the rules and everything like that, offense is actually more important than defense.
100%.
If you look through all the head coaches, I think 2/3 to 3/4 of them, most of them are on the offensive side of the ball that came up through the ranks to become head coach. So unfortunately, that's kind of where the current head coaching pool comes from. You want to have somebody who has more of an offensive-minded mindset, who can take risks, who can kind of analyze things that happen in real time versus the old school defensive, conservative play calling that usually doesn't last very long in this current NFL.
Yeah, and especially historically, the Eagles have loved offensive-minded coaches, at least under Jeffrey Lurie. I mean, in our lifetime, I think we've only seen offensive-minded coaches.
Yeah.
So the pivot from Sirianni to Kellen Moore, if Sirianni falters, is right there. Like, to me, it's a very easy possibility. And I do think Sirianni's seat is a little warm. I mean,
yeah.
Going back to number 1 on the list, that collapse was pretty historic.
Yeah.
It was really, really bad in, like, amazing ways. So I keep joking about it, but we could see, like, history repeat itself. I mean, this was Doug Peterson's exact trajectory.
Uh-oh.
Rookie head coach, shaking things up a little bit. Second year, boom, all of a sudden you get to a Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Then you have a statistically good, playoff-worthy season. Now we're at the point where you have another statistically fine playoff-worthy season, but 2025 is where the wheels come off. So it's possible. Jeffrey Lurie doesn't like to sit around on his hands and be like, oh, let's see where this goes. Like, we've seen him can coaches before.
Yep.
Got rid of Andy Reid, dropped Chip Kelly after a couple years, got rid of Doug Peterson a few years off of a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Like, it's very positive. Everybody's like, it won't happen to Nick Sirianni. It absolutely can happen to Nick Sirianni.
Yep. All right. What are the next ones we got to hit?
Yeah, so one of the big ones I think that everybody in Philadelphia is focused on is the fact that Jason Kelsey is gone. This is going to affect us, but not in the ways that people think. I think it's going to affect our signature play in the brotherly shove more,
I
more
don't think
than
they
anything.
can. I don't think they can pull that off.
I think pass protection, run blocking will be just fine. I think that the brotherly shove is where we're going to see it negatively impacted.
Yeah, unfortunately, they won't be able to do the shove as well anymore. But I will say that Fantasy Index recently released their rankings of offensive line, and the Eagles are still at number 2 in the league, even without Jason Kelsey. So if you have faith in fantasy football analysts and research and analytics, they're still high on the Eagles' offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Jurgens was handpicked by Kelsey.
Yeah.
Coached up by the coach who has made stars of so many linemen.
Yeah.
So I'm this one weirdly I'm more confident about than a lot of the others.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of time to delve into many of the other ones in depth, but I do want to get your opinions on. I'll lump this kind of all into one category. Numbers like 4 through 9 are all kind of about depth and about the talent at certain positions. So, the article makes the point that the success of the defensive line hinges on just 2 players who were out of shape last year in Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, and the fact that the pressure from the edge of the defensive line plummeted in 2023 and might get worse in 2024. So what do you think about the depth on the defensive line? Is this a concern?
It is, but it is less of a concern now that we got those 2 cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Because last year, the focus was we need to get to the quarterback, and then they weren't getting to the quarterback, and they had nobody in the backfield.
Right.
Whereas this year, they at least have a support system to fight wide receivers from catching the ball now.
Right. It's a handshake type thing. Everything in football is like a handshake where each of the positional groups impacts the rest. Like, if your corners are giving up plays that easily, your defensive line isn't going to be able to get there in less than 2 seconds. It's just physically impossible.
Yep.
So you need to have at least average players at other positions to make the other positions easier. So now that we have quality corners, the defensive line play should hypothetically get better, right?
Yeah.
That's the thinking, at least.
Right. You can't just pull a Tom Brady and just fire 2-second passes.
Right, exactly. The other area of depth that the article notes is wide receiver. They think that the depth at wide receiver after A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, there's really kind of a void there at that slot receiver, that third receiver.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, I know they're
It's just
struggling
not
to fill
proven.
that spot.
We don't have proven talent there.
There's a big question mark. We have a lot of guys who could be the answer,
right? Who
could show up, but we really struggled at that position last year.
Yeah. So that one I would agree.
Are there any that stick out to you that you want to talk about before we wrap up the section?
Yeah, so the other ones that the article mentions, the Eagles were soft last season. I guess that goes back to the collapse.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't seem like they had any fight.
Yeah.
And you look back to a team like the 2017 team and the 2022 team, they had a passion for the game. They had a passion for playing with the guys next to them. And how many times did the camera cut to the sideline? You saw squabbles on our sideline.
Yeah.
But then nobody doing things like defending Hurts when he gets knocked down or like rallying around players. The example the article gives is when the 49ers ran through our practice.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
During the Eagles-Niners game. And none of the players had... Obviously, you don't want them to fight before the game and get ejected, but you would like to see a little bit of, like, at least trash talk.
Yeah, they just weren't
something.
in it.
Yeah. And that was before the slide.
So there was that. Then the linebacker issue, which we've talked about before, that's definitely an issue. And then just overall depth is bad. Yeah. I mean, I think, though,
I don't see the overall depth. I think that's a stretch.
I think that's a problem with all teams because you can't – this isn't baseball. You can't just spend – an unlimited amount of money and get every good player that you can get.
Yeah.
The salary cap affects rosters. So there's going to be positions that you're not the best in. So that one I agree is also kind of a stretch.
Yeah, and not only that, but like what positions do we have bad depth at? Linebacker, but we don't keep that many linebackers in general. We usually play a safety in the box.
No, at this rate, we're not going to have linebackers. At this
Yeah.
rate, it's just going to be a mix of defensive linemen and defensive backs.
And as with every football team, like you mentioned, it's always kind of a question mark. We have rookies, we have free agents. We don't know how they're going to pan out. So the depth could be bad, but it might also be good. You know, you don't know how some of these guys are going to react. So I think the depth argument, other than maybe wide receivers, is a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I would agree on that one as well. But, you know, look, compared this to the nonsense that's going on with the Cowboys, I feel good about the Eagles this upcoming season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now Dak Prescott might have an injury with his foot that he was seen in a walking boot.
Who knows?
Go ahead. Have fun with that, Dallas.
Nothing around that team makes any sense.
Nope. But on that note, we got to leave the sports sampler and take a break, but don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Just barely.
I made Mike work for that break.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to put a little, was it Mio in your stuff?
Yeah, some water enhancer. Mio, they call it water
There you
enhancer.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
We only had one thing queued up for the break, so I was like, Mike, you better hurry up.
I just barely made it. I almost ate it on my way back.
No, don't get injured, Mike.
No.
We have a very good, promising Phillies season and Eagles season coming up. I need you healthy.
Okay. I got to hang in there a bit longer.
Yeah.
I can't end it all.
Yep. But we have to look forward to something else, and that is the second part of our show where we look forward to movies and TV and video games in the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, and we are locked into entertainment and entree time. And we're going to kick it off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with new media. Let's see what we got. We got TV and movies. So Mikey's going to let you know in this week in entertainment. All right, Mikey, what should the people keep an eye out for?
All right, first up, Long Legs is a new horror mystery thriller hitting theaters this week. Here's the synopsis. Pursuing a serial killer, an FBI agent discovers a personal connection to the killer and uncovers a series of occult clues she must solve to end the killing spree. It has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 81 out of 100 on Metacritic. It looks pretty creepy, pretty eerie. Nicolas Cage plays the serial killer, I think. People are praising his depiction. So if you're looking for something a little bit of creepy action here in the middle of summer, go check out Longlegs, hitting theaters this week. But if you have a taste for nostalgia, The Lion King is returning to select theaters for its 30th anniversary. And we are so old. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I can't believe it's been 30 years. What?
You know what else is the anniversary today?
What?
American Pie turns 25 years old.
Man.
You want to talk about a revolutionary movie?
Sure.
That gave you a whole new category on adult websites.
Lots of anniversaries here in This Week in Entertainment.
You know it's true.
Yes. And in television, documentary The Mandela Effect Phenomenon comes to Netflix this week. I love The Mandela Effect. I'm just going to keep moving.
Yep.
I
like football.
The Mandela Effect is when the entirety of society remembers something different than how it actually was. So like the Berenstein Bears, it's not Berenstein, it's Berenstain. But it's not.
Yeah, what the
I
hell?
don't believe it's Berenstain. That was not the Bears that I saw. It was Berenstein. Yeah. The Energizer Bunny, the battery's in its leg, not its back.
Yeah, when did that happen?
I don't know, but you can learn all about it in this new documentary coming to Netflix. And finally on Netflix, Exploding Kittens comes to the streamer this week. This adult animated comedy is loosely based on the card game and the comics of online comic artist The Oatmeal, and it comes from the producers of King of the Hill. The plot centers on God, who is fired from his job and sent to Earth to embody a house cat and live next door to the Antichrist, who is also a house cat. Expect raunchy humor, absurd stuff, a healthy dose of cat antics, and weird God versus devil action. I can't wait to check it out. I love the card game, love the Oatmeal comics online, so I will be checking this out as well. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mike, thank you for that segment. Just another spin-off question here.
Yeah.
You might want to keep an eye out for they were the Try Guys. I think they're rebranding themselves now as Second Try.
Okay.
They're doing their own streaming app, and one of the programs that they're doing is a semi-game show called The Trolley Problem.
Oh.
Where they're going to make a game show out of like
the trolley cart philosophy thought experiment. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like each round is like different varying circumstances.
Oh, that actually sounds fun.
Every now and then they'll do a thing where one of the questions you actually have to do.
Oh.
Yeah. Like you have to put your money where your mouth is.
Kind of like a truth or dare kind of thing where it's like, okay, and so you say it's easier or more, moral to do this, now do it.
Right. So
I like that.
Yeah. It's interesting. I saw the pilot episode. It seems interesting.
And you have to be on this app, this streamer, to see this, or are they going to do it on YouTube as well?
I think they're going to do this one only on the app, but who knows? They might.
Is it subscription?
Yeah, but it might be. How about this? I might hook you up with I might hook you up with on the DL.
Shh! Don't let the streamers know.
Shh. Shh. That's between us and you guys. Aren't you glad you watch the show and follow us? You're like part of the family here.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
So keep that between the three of us, all right? Shh. Be quiet. You, silent. You just observe.
You're just a silent observer. No talking.
Yes. Hey, keep your mouth shut over there.
You're threatening the listeners and the viewers so much because you told them that they were all wrong. You opened the show by shouting at them you're wrong. Now you tell them to be quiet, sit in the corner. You should be seen, not heard. And not even seen because we're talking to a camera.
Whoops.
No, it's all right though. They know what they signed up for.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for quite some time.
Yes.
You know who didn't know what they were signing up for, though? Maybe some of these video game developers when they signed on to do TV shows, because there's a weird new trend where instead of great shows coming out based on video games, the shows are getting canceled before they're hitting the airwaves.
Oh.
Are video game shows a flash in the pan, or is this just a weird aberration here? So
It's a possibility.
2 new articles came out talking about the demise of some, I think, hotly anticipated video game adaptations. The first one, I think the saddest in my opinion, is the Horizon Zero Dawn show.
Yeah.
Has been scrapped.
That's a shame.
This really sucks. I think it would have been so cool to see an adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, the spectacle of it would have been amazing. Giant robot dinosaurs.
I know that had your name written on it.
Oh, I know. And then, like, the post-apocalyptic world, perfect.
You stupid fucking dinosaur! Get the fuck out of here!
There it
That
is.
dinosaur been working my nerves all night.
So Nicki Minaj would not be watching the show.
Maybe it was Nicki Minaj that canceled this show.
She wrote to, I think it was Netflix and Sony, and she's like, you gotta stop this.
That dinosaur been working my nerves all night.
She took out the show. Sorry, Mike.
Damn. But
she is now your enemy.
She really is.
She doesn't
really
like
is.
dinosaurs.
Well, I don't like her then.
Boom! Take that.
Take that.
You stupid fucking dinosaur! Get the fuck out of here!
So, yeah.
Put that on your hit list next to Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Boom. 1-2. But yeah, so Horizon Zero Dawn getting scrapped. They're not sure why. So one of the possibilities is that there's currently allegations of abuse and misconduct from the showrunner, who also worked on, I think, The Umbrella Academy. But in addition to that, it was also reported that the scripts for the show were deemed to be, quote unquote, bad by those paying for the show, i.e. Sony.
So they couldn't just hire other writers?
Yeah, I don't.
That seems weak.
Yeah, like what do you make of this? Is there any validity to these two possibilities, or
I think that excuse is weak. I don't buy that one.
The bad writing, yeah.
The first one though, I have heard rumors that showrunner has done some not ethically good things.
Right. Yeah. So that seems more likely than just the bad writing. But if the bad writing thing is true as well, it weirdly gives me hope that Sony is approaching their shows with a little bit of, like, integrity.
Yeah.
You know, after the hit of The Last of Us, maybe they're like, oh, if we actually take the time and the attention that these things deserve, it can be really, really good for us.
Yeah, they can like... If you get a stellar writing cast, you can be just as good as a Succession or a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's what Last of Us proved.
So, do you think it's better that they scrap it instead of dragging its corpse of a terrible script to reality? I mean...
In theory, yes, but I hope this doesn't close the lid on the adaptation. I would like to see this get made at some point.
And that's my worry, too, is that, you know, I don't want Sony to get gun shy and be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And start pulling the plug on these shows, because they have a ton in the works. They have a Ghost of Tsushima movie. They have a God of War show on Amazon, which is still in the writing stages, what the article says. They have a couple of different projects in the works. I don't want them to start feeling like, oh, maybe this was a bad idea, and start, you know, pulling back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to push the envelope. I want them to keep trying, especially with Horizon Zero Dawn. I'd love to see it come to reality.
Yep.
The other show, though, was a TV show focused on the Arkham Asylum universe, which has been canceled. The show started originally as a spin-off from the movie The Batman, focusing on the Gotham City Police Department, but then later pivoted to focus on Arkham Asylum. So I don't understand that pivot, one. And then there's also the issue of trying to figure out how this fits into the various Batman and DC universes. And I think this is just unfortunate timing and circumstances.
Just let Reeves have his universe.
Really? That's what it is.
DC executives, step away. Step back and just let Reeves do his universe. again, we've said this multiple times. When DC doesn't have their hand in the cooking methods, you get a good dish. Just let him be, let him be. Don't do anything.
So is this a good thing in your book?
It actually might be a good thing.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, too many cooks. Get DC out of the kitchen. Let Matt Reeves cook. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
you're all wrong.
Again, everybody's just wrong.
All you DC executives, you're all wrong.
I actually agree with that one.
Thank you.
I do think I've long said, I've said for the longest time that every time Warner Brothers and DC is actually involved in their properties,
it gets worse.
Yeah. So I think this may be. I don't know if this is a case of this or whether this is just them realizing that they don't know what to do with it, so they decided to scrap it, which I appreciate. I would rather a project take longer or be scrapped than to just drag some half-assembled, crappy adaptation. I mean, that's what video game adaptations were always.
Yeah.
Right? They just drag these half-assembled things to production, and they should have died a long time ago. So. Yeah. It's sad news that these shows are potentially being scrapped forever, but also I like to see the fact that they're approaching them with a bit more conscientiousness,
Yeah. All right, we got to leave all the video game adaptation talk now on the curb because there was a big trailer that dropped, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. It was Agatha All Along. Yep, that's right, Agatha All Along. The trailer dropped. All the spooky fans are very excited to see this spin-off show. We watched the trailer just before we started the podcast. So, Mike, what did you think of Disney's and Marvel's? Marvel's been quiet, really, right? I don't think they've done anything in a while.
They haven't done much in a while, and this is
their first.
The first I've seen of this show specifically.
Yeah.
In a minute.
So here they are. They're back in the spotlight with this trailer. What did you think of it?
Yeah, so from the get-go, I thought it was an awkward project when they announced it. I was like, an entire series on some random side character. I know she was technically the villain, but not really because Wanda was her own villain.
Yeah, technically.
Is that a spoiler?
Yeah, right. Is this a spoiler?
I don't.
It's a spoiler. Ooh, it's a spoiler. Don't listen. Go away.
Hey, WandaVision came out 3 years ago.
I also just wanted to play the spoiler sound clip.
You love the spoiler sound clip.
Yeah.
But when the character was revealed in WandaVision, I was at the time, I was oh, that's super random, but okay, I'm along for the ride, whatever. It was a gimmick because the real villain was within Wanda the entire time, her own trauma. So to give a spin-off to a character who was nothing more than a glorified plot device seemed odd to me. I know why they did it. And seeing the trailer really solidified for me why they did it, because there is a niche fandom, right, in sci-fi and fantasy that's strictly about witches. Anything witchy is up their alley. You're going to get so many people who don't watch Marvel, who don't care about Marvel, watching this because it's premiering in mid-September. It's running through spooky season. It's all about witches. It's very Salem-y vibes, very it has a horror twist to it. The trailer makes it seem kind of creepy and spooky, but not creepy and spooky in the Exorcist way, but creepy and spooky in the what's that stupid movie they play all the time now that I used to love that I don't like? The one with the witches. Why can't I remember it? Oh my God. You know the one. Everybody knows the one. But in a fun, spooky way. That's the point I'm getting at. So I see exactly why they're doing it. I'm not that mad by it. I'll probably watch it. But what I hope is that it's more like a one-off and it doesn't really connect with anything because I don't want it to. Does that make any sense?
Oh, you don't want it to connect.
I really don't want it to connect. Do you want... I know that they're going to force it to connect. They're going to try to revive...
See, I think there could be an interesting angle here.
Okay. That's a different tact. I thought you were going to hate it.
I think, I this might be too obvious and on the nose, but it seems to me that the whole point of the show is Agatha trying to become the greatest witch that she was once again. I forget what the term was.
I can't remember.
Yeah, there was some specific term that you get when you're the number one witch. I forget what it was called now off the top of my head. Yeah, whatever.
I know the book is the Darkhold, but I don't know what the name of the witch is.
Yeah, there's some magical power. There's a level you achieve. I forget what it was called off the top of my head. And it seems to be
the Scarlet Witch. I mean, that's Wanda's.
Well, that's Wanda. That's Wanda.
Wanda's name. Anyway.
But anyway, it seems to me from the trailer that this spin-off show is her trying to get back her powers and her trying to be the primo number one witch that she was before she ran into Wanda. And I think what you could work this angle in is if it's a villain regaining back her powers, and then she gets folded back into the universe with Doctor Strange and Wanda, and then that could be your cliffhanger, and then that could be an unresolved story plot going into whatever the Avengers 5 team-up movie will be. Because remember we had this a couple weeks ago, the first confirmed mention of Avengers 5 was from Benedict Cumberbatch, that he's getting ready.
Yep, Doctor Strange is apparently going to be one of the leading characters. So
imagine, was it because at the end of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, he had to fight Wanda.
Right.
So imagine now that they're trying to finally get their alliance, kind of together, but they're still kind of on shaky ground. And then imagine Agatha comes back and maybe lures Wanda back, being like, hey, we could be the ones that team up between our mutual powers of...
Well, so play the spoiler again, because I'm going to talk about Multiverse of Madness for a second. Because Wanda is, quote-unquote, dead at the end of that. It's a comic book death.
Comic book death.
But she's dead. So I think...
You can easily rewrite that.
There's
some
out
of all of the retconning, you can easily bring her back.
Here's my pitch: Agatha attempting to resurrect Wanda.
Well, yeah, there you go. There's an avenue right there.
Because you don't want to get rid of a star like Wanda, especially with her being such a pivotal character.
That could be the cliffhanger.
Yeah,
she just goes to
or something that Agatha does, causes Wanda to come back somehow. But again, doesn't that just make Agatha and her entire series a glorified extended plot device? Doesn't that frustrate you at all?
Maybe, but it depends on how well the series is shot and executed.
Okay.
I do like another thing in the trailer that they were kind of doing Mayor of Easttown vibes in the first minute of that trailer.
The first bit. Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
Is this like a crime thriller?
Maybe,
What's happening?
Maybe they could do a little bit playing around, like how WandaVision was playing around with the sitcom eras. They could do a little playing around with TV genres with Agatha.
I was picking up on that, where it seemed like during the trailer there were a few different, there was very clearly the horror influence, but they also had the crime drama thing.
They could do different eras of crime drama.
I could very easily see them do different genres. That's true.
Yeah. So
because WandaVision was different eras of television through one genre through different eras. This could be multiple genres.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's shot interestingly...
Is that a rehash, though, of WandaVision's gimmick?
I mean, I think it's just a different take on it. Instead of sitcoms, you're doing crime drama.
It's funny. You're much more amenable to Agatha All Along than I thought you would be.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Okay.
I like what I've seen. I'm interested to see how it could develop.
I don't mind it, but I'm also confused by it because it seems wildly unnecessary to me.
Well,
I don't mind if it's it's fun. I'll watch anything Marvel.
So, well, I will say, yeah, if it doesn't connect to the Marvel storyline, if it really is just she's on her own or something, and that's it, she gets her power back and that's it or something, I don't know. Then I think that would be kind of a waste.
Yeah, because I don't see Agatha ever playing any kind of role in another Avengers or Avengers level kind of like.
Ooh, not really.
No.
If she
not at
gains
all.
back her powers, you
Not
don't
at
think
all.
so?
No, because that role is already filled by Wanda.
Yeah, but you could have kind of.
It's a double dip. It doesn't make any
You
sense.
you don't want a tag team? You don't want a witch tag team?
No, not at all. No.
There's Sonic and Knuckles. They both did the same thing.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Like that's. You don't want a little tag team?
One, Sonic is a hedgehog. Two, Knuckles is an echidna. So completely, Knuckles can use his little fists to climb on walls and punch. You're dealing with an expert here.
Sorry.
What made you think of Sonic and Knuckles?
I don't know why that clicked.
That's
in my
what. So Wanda and Agatha is like Sonic and Knuckles.
I don't know. I thought that. I don't know.
Who the heck is Tails then?
Oh.
See?
I don't know.
Vision is Vision Tails?
Maybe. Yeah, Vision. Vision. Yeah, kind of takes a back seat. He's the second player.
He's the second player.
Yeah.
He always gets knocked off screen because Sonic is running so
He
fast.
literally got knocked off screen in WandaVision.
If Agatha is the Sonic and Knuckles of Marvel, I'm in. If it's not, then I don't want it.
There you go. I just sold you on
You
this.
just sold it with a weird Sega Genesis reference. Go figure.
Things in my head. I don't know what to tell you.
You never even played Sonic. Where did that even come from? You literally just plunged the depths and picked out two random characters.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I came up with in my head. All right. You know what? I'm referencing classic Sega. Maybe I should take a break because we got to get ready for our final part of the show, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda de bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I've seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. And here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to first?
All right. Well, guess what? This is a relatively local story.
Oh, no.
Yes, this is in Carbondale, a suburb of Scranton.
Okay.
That's where we're going for this one.
So close by to the office.
Yeah. We could drive there. We could head there.
We could.
Yeah. Also kind of appropriate because me and Mike, we had a chat before the show started, and I had mentioned to you that I had read a report that said one of the professions that teachers are leaving from education, if they're leaving the field of education, they said like a second or third popular job that they're leaving is to go on OnlyFans.
That makes sense.
Yep. Well, it may not be limited to teachers.
Uh-oh.
And, this could get interesting.
Okay.
Because prosecutors have charged a Pennsylvania man who works as a professional clown with attempting to moonlight as a hooker, according to cops.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
'Cause you done goofed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, my God.
We're covering...
Where does he put the clown nose? Give it a squeeze. Honk honk.
Honk, honk. There's a lot of things you could squeeze with me. Honk honk.
Oh God.
This is the case of 28-year-old Francis Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, boy. Francis Boy.
Francis Boy. Okay.
Boy, that sounds like the hooker name. Doesn't even sound like the legal name.
All right.
But that is his legal name. 28-year-old Francis Boy was named in a criminal complaint last Tuesday accusing him of promoting prostitution when he was in the clown costume.
Oh, no.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yes. So
hey, look, clowning is hard, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Does it really demand a career anymore? Do you really get that much from being a clown? I guess not.
I have no idea.
You got to moonlight as a hooker here.
Yeah, you know, you got to work 2 jobs.
Yeah. So by day, he goes by the clown known as the Amazing Franco.
The Amazing Franco.
I think that's your dad's nickname.
Yeah, right?
And I've been waiting all week to have a hot dog and a hamburger. No sausages. No sausages. No sausages. Sausages!
Oh, my God.
That's your dad's...
The Amazing Franco.
That's your dad's moonlight name.
By day, he's a civil engineer. By night, he's the Amazing Franco.
No sausages. No sausages. No sausages. Sausages!
There you go. That's his new nickname.
Amazing.
Yes. No, but Francis Boy, that's his clown name, the Amazing Franco. And he's known to have performed across the county at state fairs, schools, and other venues.
Okay.
So
he had a thriving clown career.
Yes.
It sounds like.
And I do have pictures of him as the Amazing Franco, if you've got the visual here.
Oh,
so
it's terrifying.
Are you a fan of clowns?
Honestly, I don't really care for them one way or another, but he is not a good-looking clown. I'll just say that.
Ooh.
Why does the one side... Wait, throw that back up there. Why is the one side he looks so... Like, one side is like a normal clown, but the other side is like, what happened to him?
He wasn't amazing that day.
No, apparently not.
No, he was amazing on the left.
So on the left, we have like a regular-looking clown, the big white smile, the red nose. But on the right-hand side, it's like a disheveled... Like, what happened to him? That's his prostitute clown.
Yeah.
Get up, I assume.
That's his Tinder profile.
That's the Tinder clown.
Yeah. Tinder clown profile pic.
Yeah.
The
I
one
wonder
that
if there's an
everybody wants to
entire subgenre where it's like, I don't know, like Clinder or Cinder.
Clinder.
Like clown
Clownder.
Tinder.
Clownder. There you go. That's the app.
That's what it is.
That's his Clownder dating profile.
Yes, absolutely. You know it's out there somewhere.
Yeah. All right. So here's how they caught him. Investigators were monitoring online posts offering escort services in the Scranton area and discovered an ad that offered sexual services who included his phone number. Boy, smart.
Oh, man.
Boy, come on.
Jeez.
Yeah.
At least get like a burner phone or something.
Come
Why
on.
would you just put probably put his address on there too or something stupid?
In a subsequent text message exchange, the suspect allegedly offered to perform condom-free sexual acts.
Oh, yikes.
Wow. He was willing to go down and dirty.
Oh, no.
Come on. At least do safe sex, Franco. Come on. Help us out here.
Yeah, that is, no, don't do that, especially not with a clown. I
Yeah.
feel like that's, no.
He offered a $100 an hour rate. I guess that pays more than his clown gig.
Yeah, I don't know. What does a clown get paid?
I don't know. I don't think $100 an hour. I think that's too high for a clown.
I'm just gonna look up average clown rates.
I'm a special kind of white guy.
In Philadelphia, the average hourly pay for a professional clown is $36 an hour.
So there you go.
That's
He's
not
making
terrible,
but not $100 an hour.
Not $100 an hour.
Right. So
Yeah.
he's making 3 times his salary.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He's doing a good job.
Honestly, yeah, depending on how many hours a day he works, that could be pretty profitable.
Yeah. So yes, and when he was arrested, he told cops that, quote, I recently got back from the circus.
Everything
Yes.
about this is so stupid.
That's right. And that the money that he was earning from the circus was so low compared to the prostitution, he had to do it.
I mean, we just found out that, the prostitution's way better. So obviously, I can't blame him.
Yeah. Also, by the way, the phone number that was listed in the sexually explicit online post was the same number that is listed on the Amazing Franco's Facebook page.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
So when he
It's about
answers,
to get all stupid up in here.
when he answers the phone,
he's not sure who he's
he's
getting.
not sure. Somebody calls and it's like a woman on the other line. They're like, "I'd like to purchase your services," and he goes, "Really?
Which one?"
Describe the services.
Yes.
Just so I know how to bill you properly.
Yes.
Like,
I want to squeeze your nose. Wait, which one is it?
do you have a big red nose for me? I do. But again, you need to be a little bit more explicit because this could result in two very different appearances. How many misunderstandings do you think he had?
Do you squirt seltzer water?
I can squirt something.
Yeah, which one are you?
But like, how many misunderstandings do you think there's been?
Oh.
They're like, I need you to show up at this, at this location at this hour. He's like, right away.
Do you think he goes by? Well, obviously, probably
What's
not.
his?
But
what's his? Do
you think maybe he goes by the location? Like, meet me at a dark hotel. Oh, okay, it's definitely the other job.
No, but they're like, damn it! I thought I was getting a clown. This is the most depressing bachelor party ever.
Son of a bitch!
You promised me clowns. Come on, there has to be at least one mix-up, right?
Yeah.
That's like the phone number, but also a mix-up is probably how he got caught. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted a clown and got a prostitute. Somebody wanted somebody wanted a prostitute and got a clown.
He just shows up to the hotel with no clown makeup on.
Right.
And like there's 8 kids bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
Oh my God, that would be so funny. I mean, awful, but funny.
Yeah.
And this was in Carbondale?
Yeah.
Is there a large demand for clowning and prostitutes in Carbondale?
He's trying to make both careers work. But unfortunately, prostitution
They're both
is
a form of entertainment, I guess.
yeah. But prostitution is a misdemeanor. Come on, dude. But they're just why
the
would you
same phone number?
You got to split the phone numbers up. You got to get a burner phone.
I can see he's like, well, this is easy, easier for me, but then you get arrested, so it's not easy. It's just a crime.
Yeah. So, cops took him in, and he's going to have a preliminary hearing next month to deal with his misdemeanor charge of prostitution.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's also really gross that he offers condom-free sex.
Yeah.
That is super... Oh, God.
Come on.
Is that a thing? Do people call up and like, I want this specifically? That's very dangerous.
You're probably
and
not
disgusting.
Yeah, you're probably not.
That's why he looks that way in the right-hand picture.
Yeah, you might.
Is it just my angle, or does he look like not well in that photo?
He doesn't look happy in the right photo.
Okay.
He had a bad day as the amazing. He wasn't the amazing Franco that day.
He was not very amazing.
He was the regular Franco.
The regular Franco.
Yeah.
It's the amazing Franco. It's the regular Franco, the amazing Franco, and the After Dark Franco.
Yeah.
Franco After Dark.
Yeah. Those are the 3 Francos you got there.
But what if you want a clown for a night party?
What happens if you want a clown prostitute? There you go. Here's the guy you call.
Honestly, he probably uses that as a gimmick.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there's probably a weird subsection out there where people are like into something like that.
I mean, I would have to imagine there's like an overlap between that and like insane clown posse people or something.
Especially in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably get some
man.
interesting folks out there.
His client list must be so bizarre.
Yeah. So
it's just like kids parties and like insane clown posse groupies.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But there you go. True story. Poor
terrifying, gross.
Poor
and,
clown.
Yeah.
The amazing Franco. I'd also have to imagine too with a sexual charge, you can't be working with children anymore. So I think that's going to derail both careers.
Yeah, that kind of ruins both careers. He's going to have to go back to hooking full time. I mean, it already paid better. You might as well keep trying.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Go somewhere where it's like legal. Go out to like Las Vegas and, do a thing there.
No, they got 1 million of those in Vegas.
But nothing like the amazing Franco.
But Scranton.
That's right.
He's one of a kind in Scranton.
Scranton's very own hooking clown.
Yeah, we know where he's at. There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. It does ruin his clown career.
Look up the amazing Franco. You know where he's at if you want some action. If you're into that.
Oh, God. That sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. All right. And there you go. That was a true story in the odd news to wrap up this episode of the Non-Fortune Cookie. To wrap up this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast, which has the Non-Fortune Cookie odd news. There you go. Oh, man. I'm mixing up everything now. I'm getting to the end of the night. So I think that means we got to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for watching, for putting up with all of my stubbornness, if you will, from this episode.
You yelled at them so much.
I did. I don't know. Yeah, my voice is a little off. I've been yelling too much. So we got to wrap this up. If you want to continue hearing our thoughts, thank you. But we do have multiple ways to make sure you stay in touch with us. Make sure you're subscribed to all of our social media, Hubbabaloo. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get every episode sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button, and you'll get the episodes sent right to you when they premiere. And the second way is on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify, but you can also listen to Spotify in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you to listen to the Crispy Noodle Podcast if you wish. So if you're driving out to Scranton and you want to have some fun, make sure to put on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Absolutely. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast, but if you need to get in touch with us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter, you can find us there to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X. Let us know what topics you want us to cover on next week's episode, and if we do, we'll give you a sausage shout-out. Make sure any odd news goes to me so that Mikey doesn't see it. But, yeah, let us know what you want us to talk. Let us know what you want us to talk about on future episodes. But for right now, we got to start wrapping this up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.